No, I'm talking about looking at it.
Okay, we're going to start in about 3 minutes.
With the crack, no. She's not crazy, she just special. But maybe I was complaining enough. You know, you gotta.
Oh, you want me to come? Okay. So we can all, we get started. It's exactly 7:05. Mr. Stewart?
Yes, I'm going to sit down.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for coming out for their busy schedule, coming out to express their opinions, to find out what's going on in the village, to ask questions, to commiserate between neighbors. That's one of the main things. You know, your problem may be someone may have a solution to it. It's just networking, and we need to do that. But the town hall meetings are for information, and they're here to kind of let you know what's happening in the village and throughout and around the surrounding areas. But tonight, I have a different perspective. I just wanted to share some things with everyone, I'm sure. And it's disheartening to hear when you hear your leader of a town badmouth, talk about employees. Now, by them talking about a mayor talking about another elected official, that's common, that's politics. And that's what happens. But when you have a mayor who is your ex-official, he's your chief justice or chief officer of the village, reprimand an employee that works for the village in public, I do have a problem with that. I've never seen a mayor, I've been out here since 1982, and I've come to a few board meetings. And I've seen that there was a few things going back and forth, but I never heard a city mayor talk about an employee. Yes, they fired employees. There were employees that were fired because of incompetence and things like that. But it was never brought up at a board meeting. It was never brought up at a meeting of the people where you could put it out there on social media to tell everyone the reason why I didn't do this because I felt this person was damaging the village. That's unacceptable.
Can you elaborate?
I'm still trying to get my thought out. Larry, we're not gonna blurt out. Please don't do that. Thank you. But to do something like that, I think is very, very unprofessional. And to be in charge and to be your mayor of a town, you should never do that. You should never tell people, residents, that a person who's still employed doesn't know what they're doing. Didn't know what they're doing, I got rid of them because they were damaging the town. If you go on Facebook, which the mayor doesn't go on, he made that clear in his speech. You can see what he said. But I do have a few things that I want to say. The reason why, and usually I don't do this because you don't come here to hear us go back and forth like that. It's not about that. It's not about you coming out here to hear me rant and rave about what the mayor's not doing this and that. But when he spreads lies about me, I have to say something. When he spreads lies and tells people that I and my cohort, which is another trustee, are plotting to bring the village down. First of all, that's stupid. How could we do anything like that, number one? If you didn't, as mayor, take care of your business and it failed, don't blame it on somebody. Take the blame. You weren't able to do it, tell people we weren't able to get that deal. Simple as that. But don't blame it on another trustee or another elected official, the reason why. You know, I am out there backstabbing the village, trying to make deals with our Fort Heights. That's one of the things that he has mentioned. Another thing that everything that he tries to do, I try to sabotage it. And that's damaging, and also I'm damaging the village, and I haven't done anything since I've been trustee. Fine, my record speaks for itself. I'm not gonna sit here and try to go over that, because if people didn't believe in me See, he was talking to 10 people, 4 of them were his family. So if you don't believe in what a person does, that's why no one came. And also, I don't care about, this is verbatim, this is something that he quoted, I'm quoting him, doesn't care about the families of Sauk Village. Also, I interceded in a deal on 394 and Sauk Trail, right there in the corner. There was no deal on 394 and Sauk Trail. I don't know where that comes from, but I sabotaged that. And now everyone knows where Winpack is located. And there must be something going on with Winpack, that they want something, but he quoted that I went to Winpack and tried to sabotage that, and that's why they're having a problem. I mean, I'm a trustee. First of all, back to the mayor of Fort Heights, I know him. Never been to Fort Heights Town Hall, never been to the mayor's office. You know, but I do know, I keep my head to the ground, and I do know the things that are going on. And the mayor has some questions. The mayor of Fort Heights has questions that he should talk and ask our mayor to come and talk to him. And our mayor said he's not going to. If you look at what he says, he said he needs that the mayor of Fort Heights had a meeting, didn't invite him. He takes issue to that, and he wants the mayor of Fort Heights to come to him and apologize for not inviting him to the meeting. And until that happens, he won't talk to him. So, you go figure. But that's not what when you become a mayor of a town, you have to swallow your pride. You have to move, it's not about you anymore, it's about this town. You become an elected official, it's not about you, it's about this town. And to single out people because of your indiscretion, because you failed to do what you need to do, we did that, that's what our kids do. You ask them a question, who knocked that over? He did. They did. Anybody but you. That's what children do. So, only thing I'm saying is, and I didn't want to really talk about it, but I'm tired of turning and seeing the cameras on and just looking at this man do this and make these statements in public. But one thing that if he said it and someone told me it was hearsay, that's one thing. But when I actually heard these things, I had to bring it. I had to say something about it. I have some other things to say about what he hasn't done, but I'll just leave it with this. That's the only time he said that he never disrupted the last administration. I've never, ever seen a trustee stand up at a board meeting, walk over to the mayor and stand over him and tell him, stop pounding that gavel. Never. Never seen that happen. He wanted to have people here arrested for just talking. They were just expressing themselves. He wanted them arrested. He told the police officer, and I quote, that's the second time. I mean, these are your constituents. These are the people, they may have not put you in there, but their taxes pay for all of this. And I just wanted to bring it to you guys to let you know that I personally don't think that's a proper thing for a mayor. I don't think that's a proper thing for anyone that represents your town to sit and talk to people that way. So with that said, we can move forward with our town hall meeting. Two quick things. Number one, leaf pickup. Your leaves are due by the end of this week. Saturday, put them out there on the street, and they're going to get to it, but they'll get to it on your normal trash pickup day. So if you put them out there by Saturday, because I'm sure no one gets picked up on Sunday, but some people do get their trash picked up on Monday, and then the villagers come by with a truck and things, and they're going to follow behind that to pick up the leaves. So get your leaves out by this Saturday. That's why they wanted it. I'd say Saturday, Sunday, because I don't see anybody going to be out there Sunday. But get it out by the end of the week, so you can have your leaves. And and all you have to do is just brush them to the curb. Now I heard there's going to be snow this weekend. I still say pull your leaves out there, put them out there. The wind won't let them blow because they'll probably be wet, so just put them out there on the street and then pick them up. Now, do me a favor. After next week, in other words, the whole week goes by and your leaves have not been picked up, call Village Hall and let them know where you live. And if anybody has my number, give me a call. And we'll make sure that they get out there, because if they want you to have the leaves out at that time, and it only takes, you know, if it's gonna be your garbage day, unless we have 20 inches of snow, they should pick it up. I hate when they advertise something and you drive around 2 weeks later and they're still sitting there. So if there's a problem, please let me know, and also call Village Hall like I stated before. You guys, not me, not trustee, not the mayor, you guys run the village. Something that you don't like, say something. Don't hold back, because when you hold back, people think, oh, it's okay, they're not complaining. So please, at least, say something. The second thing, Santa Claus parade will be December 5th. Everyone knows about Santa Claus parades. Anyone that does not know about Santa Claus parade, what happens? Santa Claus goes around town. They drive through the neighborhood throwing candy out to the kids. And then afterwards, I would say maybe 3 or 4 o'clock, you come up to the community center and they have hot chocolate. And Santa Claus will be there for pictures. So, yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, on our water bill, it says leaf pickup is due out by the end of today, the 18th. Someone came down my street this morning, and I asked him, and he said, since I had him out there, it was not like that. Mr. Public Sponsor, Public Works Office.
You said, where did you see the 18th at? On your water bill? Okay.
I didn't bring it.
Okay, when you get, are the leaves still out there? Or you haven't done them yet?
No, I picked up some, but I didn't do my neighbors because she's a little older than I. And he told me that it wasn't like that though.
Okay, at the end of tonight, give me your address. And you said your neighbor next door to you?
Yes.
Okay, have they put them out there yet?
Now, I was gonna put them out there, but you said you're not gonna pick them up or what? So.
Oh, someone from Public Works told you that? What, did they happen to stop and see, or?
No, I asked them because they were coming down the street today, about 9:20 this morning. I truck, they were pushing people on the front.
Oh, so the garbage truck. So today was your garbage day?
No, my garbage day is Friday.
Okay.
That's
Okay. I'm gonna get your address at the end of tonight, and then I'll find out about that. But and still, put your leaves out there.
Okay.
And if your neighbor, you talk to your neighbor, who's,
I put hers out there.
oh, you do? Oh, you're a good neighbor. That's great. Okay, so you do hers and yours. Well, yeah, let me know, and I'll have someone make sure that they, because they're supposed to do it on the day they pick up the garbage, which makes sense. Because, you know, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd just like to commend you and Trustee Tates on the Veterans Day celebration.
Oh, okay, yes. I was going to get to that later. And, you know, when it comes to people talking about commitment, since you said that, I'll say this. Rarely do you see a person in a village that commits all of their free time to community service. Rarely do you see that happen. Even myself, I didn't get involved in the village really until, well, I moved out here in '82. I got involved in my school board, but I didn't get involved in the village until '94. That I really got involved. Before then, I was trying to raise my family and things. But this gentleman has served, first of all, I want to say civic duty. He served his country, several tours of duty, not one, several tours of duty. I'm sorry, but I didn't get a half. I didn't even go in, you know. And then come back and still serve his country, his town, being a school board president, on the school board, a coach, now he's a trustee. I mean, I'm not trying to pat him on the back, I'm just letting you know a fact. And then to have people talk about what they have not done. I challenge anybody in here to do that much. I mean, it's really, it's commendable. I can't say enough. But when you attack people, look at, when you point that finger, you got 4 coming back at you. I hate when people do that. Until you walk in that person's shoes, you can't talk about that person. And we shouldn't talk about one another until we happen to do that. But to make light of everything that happens, Veterans Day was the least we can do for the veterans. Veterans Day was the least we can thank them for. Like that one gentleman said, that was the guest speaker. Thank you, accolades are fine. But there are disabled vets out there that need your help each and every day. That are, they're not even walking, they have psychological problems. They have all kind of problems that we don't even comprehend. We take things for granted. Our freedom is taken for granted. It's like things happen in the village, we take it for granted. It's not that way. There's always somebody in the background that's doing something to make things happen. So that's, and the gentleman I'm talking about, yes, it is Lieutenant Colonel. That's a shame. Lieutenant Colonel. Lieutenant Colonel Cecil Coates. I mean, one of our own. And I don't even try to think about what what this man went through. What he went through, but he is a young man in comparison, yes he is. But it's just, you can sit here all day long and just give accolades. I'm just proud to know the man.
Well, what you guys did was.
Well, what we did was nothing.
No, but what I'm saying is how you recognize each individual veteran. My dad was here, and that meant the world to him. You two are now his best friends. You and Cecil are now his best friends.
It's the least we can do. I mean, that was something that, like I stated, I don't even know the experience. Like people say, oh, I know what you're talking about. No, I don't know what you're talking about because I've never done it. I just know what it took, and I had friends that were in the service and in the war. The other young man was there on that ship. He got up, went to the bathroom, came back, everybody that he was sitting with was gone. He's got to live with that for the rest of his life. That all he got saved because he had to go to the bathroom. So, but anyway, I just want to say that I'm proud to be able to do something for our vets. Next year is going to be bigger and better. We have some more surprises, so if you know any more veterans, it's going to be every year I try to do. Anyway, if you know anything about me, I always try to do things bigger and better every year because this town deserves bigger and better. It's not about what can you do for me lately. No, it's about what we can do for you. And this town will not move forward. We can sit here and talk about forward motions all until we fall flat on our face. Until you change the perception, you change the makeup, you change the environment of this town. Who's going to do business here? It's not going to happen. You can't sell your house. You haven't painted your house in 20 years and you're going to try to sell it with everything falling off? It's not going to happen. You give it away, but it's not going to happen. You have to make it, you have to bring positiveness here. I appreciate the police chief coming in, but how can you hire a police chief and you said that we are in a hiring freeze? That's what was told, and that's why we laid people off. Because we had a hiring freeze. But it was a freeze for some and others is not. Rules are made for everybody, not just the ones that make the rules. Rules are made for everybody. That's what you learn, that's what you teach your children. That's what we should be doing, following that same example. But we cannot bring and attract, well, we will attract certain businesses. Does everybody know that we lost Boost Mobile?
Wow.
Yeah, we lost Boost Mobile. Boost Mobile was right there next to the barbershop. right there in that plaza. They're gone.
Why?
I thought, I don't know, I didn't get a chance to talk to the lady. I didn't know they were gone. But they left. That's a small business. Did it impact? I mean, it was something that was coming in, but it's the fact remains we lost them. We lost them, you know. But I tried to bring in a business. Yes, it was a gaming institution. It was a gaming parlor. It was something to bring in. All the mayor had to do was talk to them and get back with them. Never happened. We lost that. But they have several gaming parlors in all the communities surrounding us. So, you know, it's up to that person that owns that gaming parlor to make sure that it's safe, because that's his money. But we have, anyone been to Hometown Hero? They have gaming there. You don't see people hanging out there doing whatever. But you cannot count anyone out, anything out in any village. But to tell people that it's someone else's fault because we don't have businesses here, that's not what you do. You get on top of it, you find out what you have to do to try to talk to the people to bring them in here. You know, I was at the school board meeting the other night, on Monday, and they were talking about the impact of the village and about new businesses and about money they received from the TIF. They received money from TIF 1 because TIF 1 was dissolved. So right now, all the taxes that are paid in that plaza over there where Fairway and Advance Auto, well, we have 4. Fairway, Advance Auto, Sharks, and Dollar General, all that money goes to the different tax bodies. There's about 6 of them. Village gets their portion, school districts, 206, library board, mosquito abatement, Bloom Township, and Prairie State. They all get their share of of part of that. But they claim there was a lot of money that came in that one time, because why? Because that's what was left over in the tax, in the tip. It's not that they pay that much every year. That's what was left over. Because you can't use TIF money unless it's for the TIF district. You can't use it as your own personal slush fund. But those are some of the things that need to be explained to the people. Why you have TIF districts. Your schools and your libraries don't like TIF districts because they don't get any money from them. The money stays in that district to enhance that. So what happens is when that money's there, the proprietors of those particular businesses get to use the money to better their business, which is a good incentive. You don't have to use your own, you pay in taxes, it stays there. And the village draws an administrative fee out of each district. Yes, they do. So it just behooves to have a TIF district, and basically you're not going to get a decent business unless you have one, because they want their money coming back to them. Why should I come to Sauk Village? You have to have a plan. I've never seen a plan in this administration of how we're going to bring businesses here and what we need to do from point A to point B, from soup to nuts. How do we attract businesses? First thing you have to do something up and down 394 before they even get here. They turn and look east, and we wouldn't even want to live here, let alone you have a business here, and you just coming in. You're like, wow, what blew up over there? So that's why you have to put things in place in the village to take care of things like that. Talk to these homeowners, talk to these investors, because you have a lot. The village has a lot of investors. The investors are the ones that really you have to go after them. Everybody's talking about going after the homeowners. If a homeowner has a home, he's not going to let his home go down too much because that's his investment. But an investor has nothing to lose. He gets that check. Because they may throw something in there. If we as a village get on them and set rules and regulations so they cannot just come in here, collect rent, and keep going. You have to have things in place. Everybody talking about that the village sells, Section 8 is the village's fault. No, it's not. somebody had to sell or give someone that house. Section 8 is a needed purpose in the village, in any community. That's why it's government ran. But you have to go after the ones that own these homes and make sure that they keep them up, make sure that they monitor who lives in these homes, and make sure that they're conducive so they can think about their neighbors. That's what we're not doing right now in this village. You only got one person writing tickets. We had a whole department, code enforcement department. I'll give you one guess who got rid of all the code. Yes, that's who it was. Got rid of code. Why? Don't know why. Now we still only have one. We got a brand new police chief. We got a brand new this. We got an administrator who has an assistant, But we have one person out there making sure that the code is kept up. We need more. We need more people out there to monitor what's going on. And that's what we need. Larry, I understand. Can you hold that until I get my thought out? I thank you. But we just have to. We have to come and demand better for your dollar. This is your dollar. Either it be, even if you don't own, you still pay money. You still pay money to the village that you may not think you do. Yes, you do. If you use water, you pay money. You pay money if you use sewer. And I'm sure if you use water, you better be using sewer. If not, then I don't want to know about that. But you still pay for services. You know, when you go you buy something anywhere else, and if it's not conducive, you take it back. Well, you can't take it back here. You have to come and you have to let it be known. You have to let it be known, because if you don't say anything, it won't, because they believe there's nothing wrong. If you don't tell me that I'm doing wrong, I think I'm doing right. So all I'm trying to say is we need to quit listening. Do what it is you feel that you need to do to try to make things happen. You got a problem on your street? Come out and say something. Keep coming out till that street gets taken care of. Don't just say, okay, I'm going to get back with it and never get back to you. Or they get back or they don't get back. You're paying people. We're paying. The village is paying people to take care of things. Not to go up and down the street, attend this meeting, attend that meeting, let's go there, let's do this, let's go. No. This is the town that we got to take care of first before we go out there and network one bit. We have to take care of our town. Then we can say, come out and see Sauk Village. Right now, I don't want nobody to come out and see Sauk Village. Not the way it looks. That's not that I'm ashamed, but we have to take care of what we have first. Because if they come out and, oh, I didn't know this was out here. Wow, this is out here, this is nice. And they're not going to tell you in front of your face that it's not worth anything. The business isn't. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to go down to the next light. And then they open up shop there. The next light is going to pull them. When they find out that you're looking, they're going to pull them and say, well, you can come down here. We have this, we have that. We got everything ready. Let's get started. You know, so it takes the people of the town to do something. Yes, you did nominate, and yes, you did vote for your leaders. But you see what's going on now. The division is here. It's a shame that it is, because I'm sorry, I didn't follow people to recess when I was in school. I never follow a crowd all the time, because it's always somebody at the end of that crowd doing something for themselves. I have to find out what's going on before I say anything. And that's what you should do as residents. You have more power. I always said it. You have more power than what you think. There's strength in numbers. You get enough people to come out here and say something, you have no choice but to listen. One or two, they can fend them off. And you have people that are even here tonight. They raise, they talk, but it's one or two. They have nobody behind it. They have nothing. No one says anything. They say what they got to say, or say, fine, next. We have to, if you don't like, come together, even for just certain things, even just a cause that you feel you're not getting represented in, or you think the village should be doing it. Bring it up, talk about it. You know, the reason why we don't have public comment is that reason. That's the reason why we tried to put in a resolution that we can have public comment at every meeting on any topic. Why would you not want to know what the people say? Why would you want to sit there and filter through? Well, you can't ask this question this week. You come back next week. And then next week you come back and ask that question. Either you may have forgot about it. But you come back and you ask that question. Now, I'm going to get back with you. Can't get back with you the following week because you can't talk about it. So therefore, I'm going to get back with you the next week. That's a month. Hopefully, I look out the audience. They're not here. I'll have to answer it. That's a game, people. That's a game. That's why you have it every meeting. So I'm just expressing myself because if I don't, I reminisce on, in other words, it's on me. You know, it's not about personal gain to me. It's about me trying to know what's right and do what's right. I got one person I got the answer to, really two. One's here on earth and one isn't. But I got two people I have the answer to. And that's it. That's all I have to answer to. So it's not about personal gain. I'm not about that. If I was in it for the money, this is like school teachers. They can't pay them enough. I wouldn't be doing this. What money? What is it worth going to jail for $10,000? For the rest, well, not the rest of your life, but going to jail to give up your livelihood, your life for $10,000, $5,000, $1,000, whatever amount it is. Because once you take $1, you become, you're on the take, and you really are. Follow the money, people. Follow the money. We never paid this kind of money before, and what are you getting for it? Rhetoric. Okay, enough of my rant and rave. We're going to go into the question part of it. I'm going to pass this mic around and try to find another one to see if
I have one right here.
Okay, Miss Judy Cass, what do you have?
Okay, first of all, I don't have a question. First of all, I want to congratulate you and Trustee Tates and Trustee Jones. You are an island within yourself, Trustee Burgess. And whether it appears in the media, on the internet, or whatever, the sarcasm, the backstabbing, whatever, you are appreciated. So is Trustee Tates, and so is Trustee Jones. We're thankful the board is not totally by little Obama. We appreciate having the guts, and let me put it right, having the balls to stand up to somebody that's bald-faced lying. And I'm going to go back to the beginning of what you said, Trustee Burgess, because I'm upset. I've sat in this room over and over and over again at multiple meetings where you can't, or he can't, or nobody can explain anything because that was in closed session and the legalities, and it's about personnel. You can't talk about it. Yet you have a mayor, and it is I was not there, so correct me if I'm wrong. You had a mayor that bald-faced tore apart Tim Olivas and Becky.
Yes, he did.
And I have a problem with that. I sat in this room and watched these people be honored, be appreciated. I watched the mayor himself congratulate them. And I want to ask you this. If they were so bad, and we all know that prior to Towers and, during Towers' time, there was a problem with the police department. And we all know that Hanks has a problem with our police department. He has a personal vendetta against them. But if they're so bad, why didn't he do something about it? Where's, for 40 years, I was a registered nurse. You got a problem with a nurse or an employee, whoever they are. There's steps to be taken and things to be done to stop their behavior. Write-ups, verbal warnings, written warnings, and then suspension. He could have been fired at any time, but the mayor didn't fire him. Why? If Becky's so bad, why is she still here? Why hasn't he done anything about it? And for him to bring that out, it's wrong that he not explain what the hell he's talking about. He's hoping that that bad publicity is going to make her tuck her tail and run. But I got news for you. She's a tough lady and I'm right behind her.
Now, let me answer that question for you. The reason why she wasn't at the time, when I need you, and I don't have anything, I don't have anyone else that can do whatever, and I need you, that's exactly why. I need you. I need you to step in, and she stepped in twice for interim chief. Stepped in twice. Not one time, but twice. If she wasn't qualified, then why did you bring her back the second time after the other chief left? Everyone knows when Martin got fired, and the reason why he got fired is because he was lying. David was on the board then. He knows exactly what happened. He was lying. He lied to the board along with another person. So that's why they were giving them walking papers. He was an at-will employee, and so was the other person. But the board stuck together then to get rid of him because he lied. She stepped in. We didn't have anybody. She stepped in and became interim. Then, at the time, the mayor at the time went out and got him a chief. Well, she has the right to do that. We went through all that too. He had the right to get an interim chief, and he kept that person there. Okay? David was on the board to help pick this interim chief. He was on the board to help pick, I'm sorry, he was on the board to pick Martin. The interim chief didn't have a board for that. He was on board. They had a little board for him to pick to pick Chief Martin. And he picked him. They gave him some kind of test, and he claims he scored high. It was back and forth. Okay. She was good enough to step in there. Now, if she was all that bad, then why did you, as the mayor at the time, put her in there as interim chief when the other chief stepped down, which was Olivas? He stepped down. Why did you pick another person to come in? You had 5 sergeants. Pick another sergeant. If you didn't think she was going to do it, but don't wait until after you do your job and then come back and say, you didn't do nothing. You made this village bad. You hurt the village. You didn't know what you were doing. That's what I fault a person for doing. If I was all that, then why didn't you give me that position? You could have gave it to a sergeant. You could have gave it to whoever. But don't pick a person and then come back and say that person wasn't qualified. That's where I have a problem. And that's what happened twice.
I also consider the fact that we have a new police chief, and with what David is putting out there publicly, what has he told this man privately? Are they going to stick together and go after Becky?
Now that much, I don't know about that. I do know there was a comment made in Meet the Mayors that we've had gangs forever at Marathon. Gangbangers, people standing around, up to no good. Those were the words that was stated at Saturday. Then here comes Mr. Kowalski and everybody ran. Now, we don't have any problems at Marathon. Another person in the audience stated that there was a house across the street from them. Now, listen to this very carefully. There was a house across the street from them that had 17 people living in it. 17. Kowalski came in, they're gone. They're in the neighborhood, but they're not in that house anymore. That's pretty good. Now, if he did all that, I don't know. I'm just going by people's testimony. So be it. If he's that good, hey, I have never had a problem with this chief that we had. The only problem I had was how much we're paying and where we get the money from. As far as the credentials, only person I've ever had a problem with credentials, and I'll say it right now in the open, was our administrator. His credentials weren't conducive to what we were looking for. I don't need another extension of the mayor. I don't need a mouthpiece. And then you're so good that you went out and got you an assistant. I mean, that's pretty good.
Well, he didn't know what he was doing,
Well,
therefore
I
his
don't-
assistant does.
I don't care. I don't care. I hired you. I hired you. I hired you to do a job that you said you could do. If you couldn't write, then you should have told everybody I can't write. If you can't do secretarial work, you should have told everybody. But don't go out and get an assistant and put that in your contract that you get an assistant. And I've asked the question before. You know,
Also, Trustee Burgess, your character assassination is nowhere near close. I'm tired of hearing, what did you do, by our clerk and by the mayor. And I have a question to ask. In the 14 years as a trustee, and he was head of housing, what did he do? There wasn't 1 or 2 meetings a year. Housing got picked up when Gary Holcomb got put in charge. And Gary Holcomb puts his whole heart into it. He has proceeded with housing like the others never have. We have housing back on the ground where we didn't have before. Because there were no meetings, there was nothing being done. And things are being said and done within these meetings right here that show that the effort is actually there.
well, I'll tell you this. Housing back when David had it was just recovering from a problem that was going on prior to that administration. It dates all the way back to Mark Collins, and they had to disband housing for something I'm not going to go into right now.
Too long.
But I do know, since I don't do anything for the village, I made a phone call. All I did was make a phone call and talk to some people and saved the village, not because the village had to pay for that, had saved the village $485 per dumpster. Per dumpster. And they had 27 dumpsters. You do the math, but I don't do anything. And the reason why I was able to do that because I talked to people in a way that, you know, I'm not here trying to get you to come kiss the ring. I'm going to talk to you. And that's what you have to do to hear something come out of a mayor's mouth. I'm not going over there until he gives me an apology. And you're too proud, and you're in the wrong position. You're in the wrong position. But as far as what he's done, I don't know. He's done more now in the last 2 years, and you can see whatever that is, than he's done the whole time he was trustee. No, I don't see anything. I did make I won't say a mistake, because at the time I thought it wasn't one. I took the man for his word when I ran with him in 2011. I took him at his word that he was going to be an upstanding person, that he had integrity. And I said back then I would never do that again until I saw these other 2 gentlemen that we didn't run together, we just thought together. But I said I would never do that again because of a person that would do something like that for their own cause. I saw that back in 2011. And I got burnt then because I felt, I'm not going to give up my name, but I thought that he was an upstanding person. But then you find out, as far as what he's done, you know the record. You've been out here longer than I have. You know what he's done.
Nothing.
I have one more thing to say, Derek. And, with the other 2 trustees coming on, the village is divided. It has been divided. It's dividing more. But it's not dividing because you guys have what it takes to ask questions and stand your ground when you think something is wrong.
Well,
I don't take any of these people as personal friends.
well,
I see what they're doing and trying to do for the village, And even if they're not my friend, I can say, at least they're trying. So, I have a major problem with the fact that the way the mayor treats certain people, select people, and the way he downs others is really bad. It's really bad, and I, again, have to say, I appreciate the new trustees and you for the stamina and the guts to stand up to it.
Well, let me tell you this, Judy, and that you just stated, actions speak louder than words. And just let me give you a few things that you can look at, and then you can form your own opinion, and anyone else can. You know, he refused to attend the Halloween walk and trunk or treat. Didn't come to that. He refused to participate in a meeting that we tried to get between him and the senior citizens group. Even though Rosie said when we did that before, it was me, Rose, some of the people in the senior citizens, and the mayor. She said I did more harm than good, but we alleviated the problem. I don't know where she got that from. And all you have to do is ask the seniors. Don't ask Rose. Rose will tell you what she wants. Ask the seniors. Refused to attend the corn and dog roast. Always. Every mayor since I've been here, even when I was mayor, attended the corn and dog roast. Refused to participate and allow public to participate in meetings. Refused to answer questions during village meetings. Refused to accept his responsibilities and bullying others. Refused to participate. They had a community prayer. Refused to come out, but he's religious. And so, but he refused to come out to that. And I go on and on and on. All you have to do is look at his record since when he was appointed by this board as mayor. He told us then what he was going to do, and it never happened. Who said it, mayor? I never said I was mayor. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. No, I was never mayor. Nope. But he refused to do that. But he claims that there's some things that are cost-saving initiatives. The cost-saving initiatives that he has, that he put in place, was to have less meetings. Where is that cost saving? That's saving money because he doesn't have to pay the trustees. That's 6 trustees he doesn't have to pay for those meetings. Himself and the clerk get paid. They get paid. If they have 1 meeting this year, they get their full check. They don't have to have any money because they get a salary. So, that's what I'm talking about. You have to look at certain things, take it with a grain of salt, drink some water with it and swallow it down. Because that's exactly how it's done. Larry, if I give you the mic, okay, when I give you the mic, if you become too personal, I will cut it off. Okay.
Well, what I have to say is, I really was inspired with Veterans Day. That inspired me. I wasn't a vet myself, but what I saw when I saw them vets up there was out of sight. And I congratulate the people that put that together. That's not getting personal, is it? But what I want to say is, I was in Fort Heights today. I had lunch. I had lunch in Fort Heights. I didn't talk to the mayor, but there were about 50, 60 people that had lunch in Fort Heights. They had Wednesday for families. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, they had it for seniors. What do we have here? Never mind. I've been on that road. I stepped in a computer class they have in Fort Heights. They had 15 people studying on their computers, learning things. What do we have in South Village? Because of the division that I see we have, and I understand, you went through a list of divisionary issues. Didn't sound good to me. Because I look at this board, and I don't think I'll name names, but I'll go around the board. The person there, I help get in. 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 The person sitting in the middle, I help get in. The person sitting there, I help, wait a minute, I help get in. The person on that far, I help get in. The person there, I help get in. You know what they done for me? Bingo. Understand this, I'm not looking for nothing. What I did for myself. I was the housing commissioner for 7.5 years. As you spoke of that one head of housing, he was nothing without me. I sat on top of urban mayors and managers. The senior building, as it was put, I was there periodically. My gosh, we're dealing with somebody with dementia. I was there holding their hand, helping them walk, because they weren't capable of it. They're not in their right mind, and yet they're going to exclude me. I don't care, because guess what? I'm about Sauk Village. As I see, I backed the 3 trustees in this last election. I am so proud. They won. And yet I hear a housing person that didn't win talk about the 2 people sat on either side of him as a Bible toter and a child molester. Are they true? Yeah.
Larry.
I didn't get personal. I didn't say no names.
But you didn't personal.
Didn't say no names.
No, but I mean, you are personal.
Guess what? If you know a name, take it with
It's
you.
not the name.
But let me finish.
Okay.
See, so, and then as of this week, I've heard Fort Heights is doing better than Sauk Village. They're doing better. But is it because they capable, or is it that we're not? Or is it the fact that we have this division that is very strong? You know, we have division. Believe me, the division is killing us. I mean, I'm ignored by some of the people on that board. Guess what? Because I may not agree with them. If you think that's something, wait till you see the next election. See, because I still won't agree with them. I promise you. And that's not personal.
No, now
That's political.
yeah, and we're not getting political.
I guess we're about as political as we can be being here. Next. Don't be naive about this. This is political.
This is not, no, it's not. Yes, sir. Oh.
Well, I got a couple of comments. The Sauk Village Citizen for Public Awareness has a meeting the second Saturday. I'm sorry. The Sauk Village Citizen of Public Awareness has meetings second Saturday of every month. And our goal is to let residents know what's actually going on in the village. We don't try to persuade anybody. We just are giving facts based on.
Wait a minute, what's wrong? Excuse me, what did you all need to talk about that outside? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you want to talk to him outside, I have no problem with that. Well, it's up to him, but I can't tell anybody. Don't come and do that, trustee. I don't do that at your meetings. Thank you. Go ahead. I don't do that at your meeting. I don't. Larry, we don't. I told you before, we don't do that. Trustee, if you want to talk to him, take him outside and talk to him, but not doing the meeting. This is what the meeting. This is town hall. This ain't a bitch session.
I know all of that.
Okay, then that's all I'm asking
I
you.
apologize to you
Thank you.
for that, but I'll see him if he come outside.
Okay, well, that's up to
I'm
him.
already outside.
Bernice.
My name is Bernice Brewer on behalf of the Sauk Village Citizen Public Awareness. We have meetings second Saturday every month at the community center, and our goal is to let the residents know what's happening. We don't sway you or anything, just giving facts based on what's given to us. And we would like you guys to come out and join us, and bring somebody in. You might have a problem, your problem or a solution on how to do certain things, and we would welcome you guys and since we have all this division, we enjoy everybody to come. Everybody come, we have people of all ethnicity there, so it would be a good learning experience just to work together. So I invite you guys to come the second Saturday of every month at the community center at 10 o'clock. But my comment is that one of the things that we're working on is the access to the senior center. Now, the senior relaxation organization is part of the Sauk Village Citizens of Public Awareness, and we're trying to run a program today, just like Mr. Stewart said, and have all these things out in the Sauk Village. You know, we're willing to do this. We're volunteer people who have our programs all set up. We have run against a bunch of stumbling blocks with the mayor and certain trustees about letting us use the senior center. So that's one of our goals now, to get space in the senior center, which we have when it has like 15 days out of a month that's not active, and we're there and we can run our program. This won't cost the people anything. So we're working on getting that with them. In fact, on December 1st, we're having a meeting with the mayor here in the town hall to get the senior relaxation organization a regular date. We had one for 2 years, but the chairperson decided she wants to take it over. So we need to run our own program. So I implore you guys to come over and join us. And you guys might have some ideas on how we can get this thing done. And the last thing I want to talk about is, yes, we have a lot of disrespect going on. I'm here mostly every Tuesday, and I have been threatened, I'm going to put you out, or I'm going to call the police, but I'm back here every Tuesday. So you guys got to be diligent on what you do. You pay tax dollars, and I pay big time tax dollars where I live. So I need to know what they're doing with my tax dollars. So I implore you guys to come on Tuesday and just sit and watch and listen and see how disrespectful this board, and I'm not, we know who we're talking about, treat the residents who actually pay their tax dollars. So you guys need to come out and just sit and listen. And for the mayor to publicly admonish certain employees, that's not right. So something needs to be done about that. And also, in the last couple of months, we have heard words like civil war. We have heard words about like overseers. This is 2015. Some people need to get over it. So I'm just saying, if you're bold enough to come out there and say those words in public, then you need to be bold enough to take the kind of crap that we're going to give you, the kind of stuff that we're going to give you, because we pay taxes, we want our place at the table, just like everybody else. And with that, I'm going to cut it off because I'm starting to be short with mine. And I'm not playing with them. I'll be here next Tuesday on December 1st to complain about the senior center and why taxpayers can't use it. I pay taxes, and I want a place at the table.
Okay, I think that's what happened. I think your group, SVCPA, and the senior board are going to have an agenda, and they're going to present, I don't know, I think the seniors are going to present their policy, which I didn't know that they rewrote a policy, and then I guess you guys are going to present what it is that you want. And that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to be taken care of, because you're right. Senior center is for the seniors. It's not for a certain set of people. It's not for a group, a whatever you want to call it. It's for the seniors to come out and commiserate, to talk. You got cable there, you got tables there, you got crafts there, you got a kiln there. So it's for them to come out and enjoy. And it should be open. Me, myself, I have a mother that's in an assisted living. It should be open at least during the hours of the village, when the village open. And you should have a volunteer list where you have somebody that can come each and every day, like you do with other things, sign up to be a chaperone to make sure that people, when they come in, don't destroy the place. And that's all you really need. You have television. We pay for cable. The village is paying for the cable that's in there. They're paying for the Wi-Fi that's there in the village is paying for that. So why not be able to do that and then have programs? I can understand you have a calendar, but it shouldn't be that you can't come in this particular time because that group is meeting. Okay, if your group, if they have days, then everybody should have days, each and every group, and they don't, and that's something that I firmly believe in.
But they didn't come in, certainly what they did was the senior relaxation organization had set days and they
Yes,
were
they
there.
did.
And then the senior committee chairperson decided that she wanted to have her group there on those days. And she came and ran her program and just ignored the senior relaxation.
That's why I said you're right. That's why I said the mayor should intervene. You know, everybody knows this is not brand new.
Yeah.
Didn't just happen overnight. This has been going on for a while, for years, a few years. You know, things have changed. This village has changed. We need to change with it.
Yeah.
Ms. Clark has something. Could I?
A few years ago, there was 2, maybe 3 senior groups. Is there only one now?
No, there's still the Sunshiners, Leisure Timers.
Bluegrass?
No, Bluegrass is not a group. They are a Bluegrass. They're a band. But the groups, they have little plaques up on the wall. Sunshiners, Leisure Timers, and there's another one. I'm not sure.
And they all,
In the Fun Club.
they all have their set time
They all
where
have.
they can use the facility.
They're on the calendar. They're on the calendar for their date.
Who's calendar?
Okay.
There's a senior calendar in there.
Yeah, the silver sneakers is there.
Silver Sneakers is just a exercise group that comes in
They run their program.
and they run the program through the auspices of the senior group.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's on Tuesday.
Yes, on Tuesdays. But they're not a group. They're running it with, in other words, that's what they talk to, I guess, like I said, the seniors. Senior citizens group or board to have them to come in that day for just that. They're not there for, they're there for exercise.
Right, as well.
The point is they run their program, so
Well,
why can't
but
they-
that's up to the senior citizens board.
No,
No, senior.
they don't have a policy.
Okay, anyway, that's how they got in there, is what I'm saying. Yes, Ms. Hines?
Yes, I've been to a lot of meetings. This is the most disgusting. That a trustee that came in here and was attacking another resident, maybe not a resident, but an individual, because he felt he had something to say. And she said, come on, let's go outside, let's go outside. What, are we in a bar? What's wrong with that woman?
Talk to me, I'm
I'm
fine.
talking to you.
Good, talk to me.
It's
Let's go
disgusting
outside
what
and
you
meet,
just
so I
did.
ain't got no problem talking to you.
Okay.
This
Nobody
man,
else.
Miss-
this
You know,
man,
I didn't come to
this
see you,
man
but
is a
I
heart
did see you.
Trustee.
I don't care what you think about me.
he's a heart, I don't care what you do.
Okay, we are not going to.
I'm not through. This man is ill, and she's here attacking him. Why?
I don't know why she came. Obviously, Ms. Harris,
Intimidation.
you don't, Larry, we're not gonna get greedy to this. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this. She came in here, that's on to trustee. She broke the meeting up, that's on her. I'm not gonna go back and forth with the dialogue. You guys here are grown. I'm not gonna sit here and dissect every little thing that happened. She came in, she walked in, she made the comment, didn't ask anything, fine. I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, you got, no, I'm not the mayor. I'm not gonna sit and tell you what you can and cannot do. I'm not gonna do that. If she decided to come in and say that, that's on the trustee, she's grown. All I ask is not to do it in this meeting. If you have a problem with somebody, please take it outside. But I'm not gonna scold or anything like that because that's not on me. You guys here know.
Can I finish
You're
my
wrong.
comment?
You were through because she was.
No, can we finish on something I want to know about? So.
Okay.
I got a question. Why is it that U.S. Investigation can have a room in this village rent-free when I pay taxes and I can use the senior center? And somebody.
That's something. See, those questions are those. I hope you wrote that down.
Well, you know I got mad
So when you talk to the board and you talk on Monday or Tuesday night, that you have those same questions that can be written down as part of the meeting. They can go into the minutes as part of the meeting, because that's where it needs to be. You're right. Ask those kind of questions then. That's why we have this meeting, so we can talk and I can give you a direction. Well, then that's a good question, needs to be brought up.
I didn't ask this question before.
Then you need to keep, like I said earlier, you need to keep asking those questions. Yes? All right.
Let me, can I say one thing?
Yes, you can, Mr. Harvey. Please let him speak.
I would like to make a point to trustee Washington. You're running for mayor. You need these people vote.
If you want to talk.
So you must, you identify, hold on, let me say, I'm talking to you.
Mr. Harvey,
Let me say this
No,
now.
come talk to me.
You are a Christian, you identify yourself as a Christian, you're not acting like a Christian now.
And so do you, and neither do you.
You're not acting like a Christian
And
right now.
so do you.
You're not
And
acting like.
so do you.
I didn't interrupt you in this guy.
So
Let
do
me
you.
talk.
See, he didn't interrupt you.
You need, well, you're not gonna get my vote. I done already told you that.
Mr. Harvey,
But you need people vote.
I
Mr.
don't
Harvey,
care about
Mr.
your
Harvey, this town hall meeting is
Then
not
he'll take
about,
that.
it's not about.
But have common sense.
Mr. Harvey, this town hall meeting is not about trustee Washington. She came in and said what she had to say, fine. Just, then I'm not gonna go back and forth. I'm not gonna give credence to that. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna sit here and discuss the things that we have to discuss about the village. If it's a personal thing, then you're right, you need to talk to her outside.
Okay,
But I'm not gonna bring up the fact that she walked in and said what she had to say, instead of saying, can I see you outside, instead of doing that? That's on her. We saw this. I'm not going to linger on. This is my town hall meeting. I will run a meeting where the people are involved, but they will not, and that's one of the things I said, will not bash one another right here. That's not gonna happen. We're not gonna bash one another. If you wanna go outside, you call it whatever you want, that's your business.
Okay, Mr. Burgess.
Okay,
I got a question
there you go.
about the village. My question is, the light on 223rd by Brookwood and 224th, those lights are still off, the street lights. Now,
Now, you're right, because you asked about that at the last meeting.
let me finish what I'm going to say. See, the people that is employed by the village, they should have concern about the citizens. Okay, you had people on care, used to have bad, crime over there. This area has been mild. But as long as it stays dark, you can count on people breaking in people's house, breaking in people's cars. You can count on these things happening. Now, I think the village should try to, keep things, crime low. We should try to keep crime low. So if this is, the mayor gonna tell me that Ron is probably want to wait for another light, the light for the new lights when they put up the new light. But people don't wait for lights to rob folks. They rob folks in the dark more so than in the night, in the day. Even though they rob them in the day now too, but they're more likely to rob you when it's harder for them to be seen. So I want that, worked on. So I talked to the mayor, he won't listen.
Okay, well, let me tell you this. You did bring this up several times at the meetings, after the meetings. I've heard you talk to him several times. You and your son about 224th and Brookwood, 223rd. And the lights are still out. The village administrator heard you, the mayor heard you, the board heard you, and it's still not. I will myself come down here tomorrow and ask Kevin, I got your phone number, and ask him what definitively what's wrong. If it's a balance that's out, then tell me. If the bulb is out, this has been going for 3 months that I know of. You know, you could have went to wherever it has to go. They're replacing lights right now on Torrance Avenue and also going down Sauk Trail. If that's a bulb, you can give one of those new bulbs to that place and let there be light. But to sit up and give you excuses, they don't live there. If it was in front of their house, you better believe it would have been on. So me personally, you know me, I will find out tomorrow. I got to come up here tomorrow for one other person. I'll find out tomorrow about that too, because you've asked too many times.
It makes me think they're picking on me.
Well, I don't have to tell them that. I don't have to tell them that, but I will find out from you, and I will call you back tomorrow and let you know what was said. And I just don't want to call right now. I can't call Kevin, but I'm not going to do that. I'll wait till business hours.
Is he gonna answer?
No.
Who?
Yeah.
Will he answer me? Yes. Yeah, he'll answer. I mean, you all think that, but yeah, no, he will. I'm not saying that he's going to give me the answer I want to hear, but he'll answer.
I've been to his office 3 times.
Well, I've been to his office a lot of times. So yes, what office you been to over there where he's at? Yeah, they have a way of not letting you, they even try to not let me get in until don't worry about it. You know, they're employees. Who's next?
I have a statement. We have a house on 2030, 218th Street. The fire hydrant.
2030, 218?
2030, 218th Street.
Uh-huh.
The water has been running at that hydrant for the last 2.5 years.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, that house, I actually went there, knocked on the door, no one came, but I did find out about that house. And I will ask Kevin about that too, because he told me what happens when you have a break in a fire hydrant. You have a disconnect right there by that fire hydrant. If that disconnect does not shut the water off, and you take that hydrant off, it's over. So that means they have to go to where they call the line and shut that off on either side, because you're feeding into that. If one of those don't hold, then you can't do it, you gotta go to the next one. So that's what they're having a problem with, and that's been going on for almost a year now. And I'm gonna find out again, because that's over a year. And if it's going to cost, I don't know if someone's looking at, well, which they will have to shut down that neighborhood to fix that fire hydrant.
Not my problem.
And that's what has to be done, and somebody should have done this a long time ago. So that has to be done, and I will find out from him the status on 2030, 2018, because I did go by there to try to talk to the lady, but she wasn't there. Yes, it is like an ice ring. Yes, and they said they got to throw salt down there. Yes, ma'am. So I was hoping they would get it done. I talked to him about this about 3 weeks ago, and I went over there about a month ago. So I'm hoping that at least we're coming close. Bernice is next.
I still have the.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
There's another house, 2500 to Landis. They say that across the street is a jungle, and they want that addressed. They have been talking to the mayor, they have talked to Public Works, they've talked to housing, they're not getting anything. So I'm just telling you the people that are. 3 houses in a row now.
Okay, so you're saying 2,500 to Landis, and the problem is? Garbage. Is the house inhabitable, or is it one? Oh, so this is an uninhabitable home?
Right. Empty houses and lots. I'm trying to get another one, hold on a second.
Okay.
I would tell you these things if I saw you, but, I will see them.
Okay. Until you get some work, can you give the mic to Bernice? You have another one?
Just to let you know that, the owner that lives across the street from, the house we talked about in Atlanta, he came to, town hall meeting with Hank's there, and they were supposed to, address that issue, so I don't know what happened. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about is in response to a FOIA request, in 2009, there was 23% water loss. And a couple weeks ago, the village administrator talked about going after residents for not paying their water bill and stuff like that. So, however, to get an update, there is now a 32% water loss in the village. I got the paperwork and everything. So, my question is to you, the administration is going after the residents to pay the water bill, but we've been charged $2 extra for infrastructure improvement. I don't know when that was, just recently. But my question is to you, what is this administration doing, or going to do, or should have been doing, because you're getting our money, to improve the infrastructure improvement, because it went from 23 to 32, and it's not changing. People are not paying their water bills, but yet you guys are, trying to go after the residents when the board is not doing what they're supposed to do in order to get the infrastructure, repaired, because we're paying for it. So I want to know, and it's not in the budget, what are you guys prepared to do? I know it's late in the game now, but you didn't say that when you used to collect out $2. What are you guys going to do to get this infrastructure improved? Because there's no money has been put into the system since 1957. We'd like to know what's going on.
Okay, first of all, I don't know where you got those numbers.
I got the numbers
From
in
20
response.
Okay, I'm just saying, I never saw 32% that we went from.
I got paperwork.
Okay, I'm not disputing that, so I can't answer that question as far as 23 to 32. I don't know. I was under the impression that we were actually changing that to a single digit.
No.
In order for us to get water, we have to be a single digit. Now, as far as raising the rates, that was already voted on. That 750 was voted on in the last, not the last election, but I think that was in 2011. It was voted on to raise the rates up until this last raise. It went from $3.50 to $7.50, $2 each and every year until they got to $7.50. That extra money, you're absolutely right, was supposed to be put in to do infrastructure repairs. Why it hasn't been done, only God knows, and he's not talking. So I don't know. I'm not the one to answer that because I wasn't even told about the 23 to the 32%. So I really feel out of the loop on that one. As far as the people paying their water bills, that was an amendment. That was something that trustee Myers and his committee went out and also they petitioned downstate to do what a lot of other municipalities, including Chicago, that if you don't pay your water bill after a certain period of time or pay your municipal fines after a certain period of time, that they can go after your paycheck. That was enacted down in Springfield, and Springfield went along with it. So now, when you have your money goes over an excessive amount, you'll be turned over to an agency who advocates downstate to have your paycheck, as they call it, garnished, or they take a certain percentage out, and I'm sure some of that is going to be from their costs, their administrative costs, but now they're going to attach that to your paycheck and to your taxes. When you get tax refund, that's going to be on there too. So that's something that, you're right, we do that, but we don't take care of other things, and you're absolutely right.
My question is, isn't that consumer fraud when you guys are taking our money to do something, to get something fixed, but we never get any results from it? So it seems like to me you guys are just gouging the residents here, money this, money that, but we're not getting any goods and services for what we're paying out. It's a little ridiculous.
And remember, at the very,
You know I come here every
at the very beginning of this town hall meeting, I stated that you need to have more people other than just you to come out and say the same thing. If you get enough people out here saying the same thing, then we'll do something. That's why we have the votes that we have on the board. And that's why it is that way. You know, you have some people that feel this way, some people that feel that way, and that's why you have division. You have to come out and express your opinion as taxpayers, as citizens of the village, and let everybody know this is how you feel. And that's what the meetings are for, not for just us back and forth, arguing back and forth. You have to let the people know that, okay, you got my money. What have you done? And let's go with not personal, not go back and forth personality. Talk and let them know this is my money. The village levies every year for your money. You need to find out what you're doing and get a report on where and how your money is being spent. Yes, Ms. Clark. Uh-oh.
This is not a question, but you got a problem in the men's bathroom, it's running all over the floor.
Yeah, man.
I don't want you guys to get in trouble for it, but it's
Mm.
running all over.
Which one?
The men's washroom.
It was mentioned some month or two ago, probably two, about, and it was mentioned at a meeting, one of the meetings. Why don't we have a report about money coming into the village?
Collector's report.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And have
We
you
have-
ever done about
We
that?
haven't, okay, your collector's report is not itemized.
Why not?
Well,
Because you're saying it doesn't have to be.
generalized. It's generalized. In other words, it says property tax. When you get property tax, not from just the homeowners, you get property taxes from the businesses too.
Then why can't it be
Those are the
not
questions.
generalized?
Absolutely. It should be.
Okay.
You should know what you got coming in. Someone made a comment, and I didn't say anything. I was hoping that they would speak up. But someone made a comment that at this last, collector's report, we collected in the last 2 months $6 million. And they made a comment, why are we broke?
Yeah. And
That should be explained. It should be explained where the money goes. And if that was the case, that we collected $6 million, is it still going? I can stop. I had to go to my car and get a crescent, get a wrench. I can stop it. They're not gonna come out now.
sure, it's an emergency.
But there's a sewer right there that's going right now. Don't forget, I used to do that for a living.
Okay.
But no, and you're right.
Okay.
It should be, because if you look at the collector's report, you collected $4 million at one time and $2 million at the next month. But then we're broke. But there's a reason.
That may be why the mayor says don't worry about buying all of these computer programs for the dispatchers. The money will come from somewhere. Don't worry about this or
right.
that. The money will come
The
from
money,
somewhere.
right.
It may be
Well, I'm gonna tell you
coming
now.
from somewhere that we
Speaking as
don't
a
know,
trustee-
that I don't know about.
Speaking as a trustee right now, yes, we don't have money. We just barely have money to pay payroll.
I believe, I truly do, that if the village had people that are willing to look over the reports that are generated, that things would change. And if you had an income report, things would change much quicker. That's how I am.
And you're right.
And you go for it.
They used to, the auditors used to come in and give us what they call their outlook and what we should and shouldn't do and how we should do our funds. Used to get a report, a summary of what. I haven't gotten one in a couple of years. We used to get one to find out where you should do this. When you move money from point A to point B, it should be a paper trail so you can give that back because you still owe that. It would be the same thing if you went to the bank and borrowed X amount of money from a bank. If you borrow from a fund, you should pay it back with interest. That's how you accumulate funds. Just don't take it out of his pocket, put it in that pocket, and let it be. You're absolutely right. If a real accountant came in here, he would tell you, we're not bankrupt. We're living, but we have so much money that we owe that, and then we created new debt New debt is the police chief, that's new debt, that was not in there.
There's more than just that.
But and it's just more than just that.
Keep coming.
There's money, and that was the reason why we were supposed to save money with Calcom and everything. But there's so many unforeseen costs now, it's exceeded.
Then that's the reason why you should have this as a.
Well, we have a financial finance director, but he's being controlled. So when you don't reason why you don't let people know what you're doing, it's a reason. It's a reason why you don't let your board, only some of the people on the board know what's going on. That's what I have to kick against. You can't tell me that I went ahead on my word and I did this. Your word don't mean nothing to me. I know your word. Your word doesn't mean, but if you write it down that we took X amount of money and get the okay from the board, now that's transparency.
If you were a church congregation, and I don't care whether it's tax deductible or not, if you were a congregation or a corporation, a company of some kind, you have people to answer to for your money. Are you
Yes.
going to show them only what you paid out?
You do that first time. That first time you will show it to them. You won't be a second.
That's what I'm
You'll show it to them that first time. Yes, you will. That's why you have checks and balances. That's why that's why you have a board. That's your checks and balances. When you circumvent your board, now you no longer have checks and balances. When you have one person that's going to speak for the whole board, why are the rest of us sitting there with our time and everything if we don't have any say-so? That's because when the feds come in, when they come back and say you had X amount of money, or you spent it on this, you can't sit up and say, I didn't know. No, you should have known.
What's that phone number?
Because you're the one that we put in place to make sure you know. And if you don't know, shame on you. It's just like you get a ticket. And you say, I didn't know the speed limit was. Tell it to the judge.
Then it has to be stopped.
We try to, but then we get talked about, shot down. I don't care. You can talk about me all you want. But we get talked about, shot down because you're trying to make a way. Bernie, what you do? Change seats?
Yeah. But anyway, you should let the people know about how they just passed, the board just passed an ordinance to, limit the fiduciary duties of the trustees and gave them to, was it, Mohan and the mayor? And they could sign emergency checks. Those are things people should know.
Okay.
I think it's.
What you're talking about is there was a policy put in place that was voted on at the last session, at the last board meeting, that states that if there's any immediate checks written, instead of polling the board, calling them up, or having a special meeting, that one person, that person being the finance chairperson for that committee, that chairman can give the okay, the mayor and the J.W. Fairman, the administrator. That's all they need consensus from two of those three. In other words, if you have to pay something that's immediate, that you don't have to ask the board under $10,000, you can ask those three, and if two of those three says it's okay, the mayor can sign the check. So, now that, you're right, that takes away the power of the trustees, because the trustees are supposed to be the overseer of the money. I have a problem with someone talking for what I was elected for. I was elected to make sure that the money is spent, and I can come back and tell the people how the money is being spent and where it's going. But if I don't know, then they look at me and say, well, wait a minute, why are you even there?
What was the vote count then?
The vote count was, I think 4-2.
Bobbleheads.
3-3-1? Okay, 3-3-1.
And the mayor?
3-3-1. That's what the vote count was.
So does the
I
trustee
forget
in
about it.
charge of this financial thing, is that trustee aware that all they have to do is the mayor and JW sign a check, and they don't even have to tell her either?
That trustee that you're talking about helped write it up. The one that's helped write that policy.
Well, hope
I
that
had something
trustee
to say-
likes her
I had something to say
freedom.
about it, and I had something that I wrote about each one of their comments, and it still didn't make a difference. It was, because
That was a slap in the face to the trustees, and they couldn't see it.
I don't see why.
Bobble your head and go with the mayor.
Why would you give up your right to be involved in the financials of this village? I don't care if it's $100, that's one thing, but you're gonna spend $5,000 on something, and then also to make a vendor an immediate check. Never heard of it. Never heard. Vendors know that the village pays them as they get paid. But to make a vendor an immediate check, why are they so, because we do owe vendors thousands and hundreds and thousands of dollars. They didn't get an immediate check.
How do you describe the bug people? Are they vendors?
The who?
The bug people.
Okay, I had to listen. You talking about U.S. investigation? They don't get a check.
That's them.
They don't get a check from us.
Wow.
They don't get a check from us. They don't get a check from us. So, I mean, they use our space, but they don't get a check from us.
But they're a business. Would you not consider a business?
Well, they have a business, but they don't
But they are
work
right
for
here.
us. They don't work for us. They got space in a room. But we don't pay them anything, no. But you do have other vendors that got immediate checks, and I have a problem with that.
How many times or how often does the report come out as to the money that's being brought into the village?
It should come out every quarter. Every 3 months, it should come out for the collector's report.
So, does anybody know the last time one went out?
They just talked about August and September at the last meeting. It was just 2 months, August and September,
But this is November.
okay? But I'm just telling you what happened. It came out August and September.
Oh, okay.
Was that this year?
Yes, August and September this year. That's why a person asked me about that. That's why I said, the way they read it, that we took in $6 million in 2 months.
And tell me, do we have to FOIA it, or is it available to the public?
Depends on who you are and who you ask.
In other words, all of you that are here, put in a FOIA. Give JW something to do.
Okay, and you want, yes. You got some more addresses? Oh,
Lady called and asked, because of the high winds, they have fallen tree limbs, which is detriment to the kids who don't want to go to school.
okay, where's
They
that?
want to know, are you going to pick up limbs with the leaves, or do they have to wait until spring?
I'm going to have to defer to that one because I think they had the last leaf pickup, limb pickup, but I will ask about that.
Okay. Because we're in the high winds today, so and especially.
Well, and then because, okay, you can get back, these people left something where you get back to them?
Oh, you have a whole development that's coming after you, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Deer Creek is saying that with those dead trees that we've had for the past 2.5 years, the kids are standing on the corner waiting for the bus, and the tree limbs are breaking off over their heads. So you see them littered all in the yards, and they're kind of concerned about that. So they need to know, what are you going to do about that this spring, or is it something that the mayor can talk about, that he's going to take care of these trees?
Are these the dead trees? These are ash, emerald ash trees, correct?
These are the dead trees that are
Okay.
in the development.
And you want to know when they
And the
want,
winds are breaking
Right.
off these dead.
you want to know if they're going to, are they through?
What's the plan?
Are they through with the emerald ash this year?
Right.
Okay.
Well, what's the plan to remove these trees? Next thing, sunken sidewalks.
Yes.
The kids are falling and tearing their school pants because they're falling off of these uneven sidewalks in Deer Creek. So they want to know, what are you going to do? Because now everything is becoming detriment to the kids. And they're complaining about their $8,000 in taxes that they're paying. They don't care about what you and the mayor and everybody else is fighting about. They want to know where their tax dollars are to take care of the services that they are due.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, no, that's good because I'm supposed to be part of Public Works Committee and me and trustee Jones are supposed to be, we're trying to schedule a meeting with the mayor so we can find out his direction before I go any further on that. I'm not going to go any further than I find out what he wants because people are coming, like you stated. They want to know certain things. But I will, on my own, find out about the limbs, in the limbs period throughout the village. Are they through picking them up? And also about the leaves, the correct date on that, and I need to get her address. The plan to remove the emerald ash trees, not just in Deer Creek, but all over. But when they want to know what's the plan and what's the date they're going to start in Deer Creek.
I got one question.
Almost got calling you Mr. Stewart. Go ahead. Go ahead. Who has the mic?
Over here.
Oh, okay. Then you have to defer. This gentleman hasn't had a chance to talk to you. Go ahead, sir. Sir, go ahead. You haven't had a chance to talk.
Yeah, good evening. I got here kind of late, but I live in Sauk Village for about 10 months, but it seems as if I've been here like for a long time. I like Sauk Village, but from what I gathered, a lot of things won't change to our expectation with this administration. But in the meantime, you know, we have to fight for whatever belongs to us. Just like how we come to this town hall meeting, we need to come out here Tuesday. Could you send my email, please, to remind me?
It won't be, it'll be the first Tuesday in December. There are no more meetings this month.
Okay, could you send us an email? Because if we get this amount of people plus some more, which I know we'll have a big gathering.
Yes.
You know, that would help. Sauk Village, what I realize out here, if you want something, you got to bother them for it. You got to, you know, when I first came to Deer Creek, there was a lot of pothole. I called these people day and night, I go up there, but I didn't stop until they came and fixed it. So if we come out like on Tuesdays, like now, something will be done. You know, if we keep coming out, more will be done until the administration change. But in the meantime, it's an uphill battle. But as long as we stick together, everything will be all right.
Okay, who's next?
Trustee Burgess.
Yes, ma'am.
If you go on the internet, the little village that can and will,
Yes.
you can get all this, including the dates for meetings.
Okay, no, I mean, you can get it also if you come to the meetings. It's about all of what? When you say all of this, what do you mean?
I mean, this meeting.
All these meetings, you see these cameras, right? Okay, so there's gonna be, but you still need to come out and
I
express.
know, but then persons can know to come out.
Yes,
That-
and they should learn to come out and, you know, express their opinion.
But sometimes
It's-
they can't. You know, if they send my email, just like myself.
Okay, well, from now on, I'm gonna stop at your house
Yeah, I didn't talk.
and tell you, and just like you saw in the marquee in Deer Creek today, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're gonna start making sure that we utilize that.
Okay.
So, yeah, that'll be done. Linda, I will let you speak if it's not gonna be personal, because I usually do not let the trustees speak, the mayor or any other elected official. So I'm asking if it's not personal.
Trustee Burgess, I want to say to you that I apologize to you for disrupting your meeting inadvertently. But I did not start the disruption tonight. I came to take care of some business, but I want to apologize to you as a co-trustee. You have attended many of my meetings, and I've never had nothing but respect for us as co-trustees, so I do apologize to you openly for that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Oh, y'all wait till I say meeting closed. Anybody want to talk? No. Bernie, Francine.
Hold on.
No, I don't. Trustee Burgess, I have not had an opportunity to attend a meeting recently, so I am asking just one quick question. I have received information in the Sauk talk that was sent out by the mayor that showed traffic lights and put the different budget items on red, yellow, and
Oh, you talking about the analogy? That was a.
his analogy,
Yeah.
yes, and I would like to know, do you recognize that there was no information about the incoming money for our budget, and when was that money received, as well as the only thing that that traffic light showed us was that what monies was budgeted and that it was spent. Whether it was spent the total amount, what percentage was spent, was not comprehended. So, I look at it as propaganda that was sent to village residents to make this administration look as if they were spending our money responsibly, which we know is not being done. So, I would like to say, for one comment, is that can you and your committee, I don't know if you still have that interdenominational.
Intergovernmental?
Yeah.
Trustee Tate is in charge of that now.
Oh, okay. Well, can someone also put an article in Sauk Talk that explains to residents that we do also have income and where that money come from, as well as just because money is budgeted don't mean that we have it? And is there true monies there for the payment of Mr. Furman and also for our new police chief, which I understand was in our budget, but we have yet to receive enough money because you guys are always borrowing money in order to make payroll. Can you make comments on those two things for me?
Yes, ma'am. I just want to let everybody know, speaking from me, those questions came from an ex-trustee, which means she already knows the answers, but she wants me to put them out there. Absolutely, a budget is a piece of paper. I can write on there $1 million, and behind that I can say I owe you. Does that mean that the budget is balanced? No. In order to balance a budget, you have to, the first thing you look at is what you did last year. If last year you only got in $50,000 for this particular thing, what is it going to change that you say, I'm going to get $60,000? You can speculate all you want. This is not the stock market. We don't control what comes in. We hope that it comes in. We hope the government pays our taxes on time. We hope that we can get money from building permits, and we hope that we have ongoing somebody to come out and actually pay for some of the services that we have, but there's no guarantee. Only thing close to being a guarantee is your property taxes. That's the only thing that's close to being a guarantee because you pay them. However, if last year you had 9,000 people to pay property tax, and this year you only got 5,000 people, but your budget went up, come on. That doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. If you got less people than you had last year living in the village this year, but you're going to speculate that you're going to spend more money, what's the definition of crazy? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So that's what is happening. That's why I was against the budget. That's why I was against it, because in actual, and the trustee knows what I'm talking about, and anyone here that's dealt with money knows your checkbook. When you get paid, and you get paid on Wednesday, but you write that check on Monday, what are you doing? You hope that when it gets there, that you got that money there. All actuality, you have a glitch, and that money doesn't get there. Now you race it back and forth to go back to those people you wrote that check on and say, hey, well, wait a minute. In the meantime, but they're going to tell you, got to charge you for NSF. Because it is, when it hit my bank, it was NSF. So you put together a budget that you always underestimate. If you get more, then so be it, we can do some other things. We can buy a stand for a microphone. But don't budget it in there because last year we didn't have a budget. You budget for your bare minimums. You budget for bare bones. You budget for what you had last year. And if you feel and if you know for sure that money's going to come in, then you let it come in and then you go back and say, okay, we got extra money. But don't budget because the governor said, I'm going to give you $4.8 million to pay for that loan. And then you say, okay, we're going to get $4.8 million to pay for that. We get ready to get a bill next year for that same loan. Was that in the budget? No. Because we were supposed to, at this time, pay for that. The governor was supposed to say, the governor that ran said that he was going to forgive that $4.8 million that we borrowed from a bank. We didn't borrow the money from the government. The government got us the interest loan. They got us the low interest rate. But we had to borrow from a financial institution. You don't borrow money from the government. That's not going to happen. But they said that they would back that loan with interest. They would ask them to give them a low interest loan because it was a government loan that we were getting because the village is a government. But guess what? That didn't happen. Now we got to scrap for that money that we got to pay for the next 20 years, each and every year that we thought we was going to have. That's one of your deficits. We got to go on and on and on. But you do not. You're absolutely right. If it's not there, you can talk all you want. We can sit up and say, we're going to save money from doing this, then just save some money. Don't tell me I'm going to save money by not having a board meeting. That's going to save what? That's no money. If you want to save some money, let's save some money. Let's everybody dig down. We've hired more administrators in this village than we did employees in the last year. I don't know about anybody, but I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. Administrators, everybody has a chief. Now you got how many in there? I mean, we got so many chiefs and nobody to do the work. If you're going to hire somebody, hire some people that can get out there, get on the street, bring some money in. I hate to say it, but code brings money in on the backs of the people. But that's what happens. That's the truth of the government. And it's not just our village, it's every municipality. But be truthful with the people. Quit hiring administrators. Quit hiring people you have people here, utilize them. Utilize people that you have here until such time. If you don't have money to buy a car, but you go out and get it anyway, what happens? Sooner or later you're going to hit that brick wall. But if you got what you have and you fix that up, instead of getting a car note, then you're patching it up until such time your money does come in and you have a better situation. That's how you run government. Not on speculation, not on hope, and especially not on paper. And that's all that is. Yes, trustee. Thank you, sorry, trustee, but you were a trustee. Yes,
I am so sorry, but I do have one additional question.
Sure.
And that is, when we have new residents, are they informed about our water woes and well 3 being online with air stripping and that our water is still coming from a contaminated well, groundwater, please?
Has anybody here been here less than a year except for the gentleman in Deer Creek? Anybody else been here less than a year? Okay, I asked this gentleman, were you informed about air strippers in the wells when you moved out there? No. Thank you, because you know.
Thank you, sir.
No, you're not. You're not informed. Does this lady right here have a question?
I forgot my question. It was so long with you. I was just, I do have a comment though. I noticed that we have issues with the check and balance and we can't seem to get correct answers with the municipalities here. We can go to the state level if we can't get answers after a while. You can petition your representative and your state senators and complain that you're not getting direct answers from your municipalities here. I know, but we keep putting them in. If they keep getting these letters, and they'll get tired of hearing from us. after a while. Because I mean, come on, they say they're getting money, where's the money going? You can't explain it, you're not showing us, we're residents, we're paying our taxes, so come on, get with it, just keep putting them in. Don't get tired of listening. That was my comment.
Yeah, that's a good comment. The state reps. What'd
What'd you say?
Representative Sam was out.
Oh, yeah, LG Sims, yeah, he was here. Okay, no, okay, let me explain something to you. Your state, okay. Does anyone know who our state representatives are here in the village? Anyone that lives here? Do they know who? Okay, no, state representatives. Now, I'm sorry, okay, we have 3 state reps, 2 senators, and 1 congressman. Okay, this village is split 3 ways for your state rep. Over in Deer Creek, your state representative is Thaddeus Jones. He's also a state representative in several other communities, Fort Heights being one of them. Over here from 394, going east now, to Torrance Avenue. 394 to Torrance Avenue, your state representative is LG Sims. And also, your state senator is Donnie Trotter. Donnie Trotter is a state senator from 394 all the way. In other words, he's all of Sauk Village, except for Deer Creek.
What's the last name?
Donnie Trotter, he's a state senator. Now, on the other side, more from Torrance Avenue to Burnham, your state representative is Marcus Evans. So that would be right here. No, yeah. Right here going to Burnham Avenue. Torrance Avenue going east to Burnham would be Marcus Evans, would be your state rep. Now the difference between state rep and state senator, a few dollars. The state is like the Senate and the House in the United States government. You know, you have everything goes to the representatives first, and then it goes to the Senate. But that is state, go down state. Now, how much credence? I mean, we're split up. Yes, they're going to come out, but they're not going to get involved in the spending of your money. The government, U.S. government will if there's improprieties. If they see that there's money being spent and, you know, irregular.
They have to see it.
Yes, you can talk all you want there, come and look. Then, that's when you see people put their hands behind their back and behind their head, get to the back seat. That has not happened, but maybe 3 times. Detroit, New Orleans, and I think there's one other, but that was big improprieties. Most times they tell you, especially if it's within a year of election, you got an election coming. That's exactly what the judges, they will not intervene on a behalf unless it is that you can show that they're embezzling money. All you got to do is go to Harvey. They still keep putting them in. They said all the time, this, and this. Obviously, it must be unfounded because they can't find. Larry, I'm not going to keep this up. But obviously, it must be unfounded because they keep saying he's doing this. Obviously, he must not be doing something because they keep putting them in, and the government not finding anything. So who knows what's happening there? But in Detroit and New Orleans, it was definitive. So you could go to the state level or to the government level downstate and talk to the powers to be. But I'll tell you right now, first thing they say is that people voted him in. Unless you can show me that he's embezzling money, his ideas may be what he may feel. Whoever that particular government official, elected official or whatever, they have their own opinion. So, but that was a good question.
Can you tell me what happened to the noise mitigation fund, I think
The noise mitigation fund?
I know some people came out to visit, but they said only one application.
Yes.
So far, so
Only
can you
one
tell me,
person so far.
Yeah, what the balance is and
There's been no money dispersed yet.
No money, so the money still.
There's still 232,000 in that fund.
It was 240 last.
Bernice, anything you do, be it whatever, you're gonna pay administrative costs. The lottery's got more, lottery has 48% administrative costs and 52% prize money. I don't know who's got it. They're not just Robinson Engineering, there's other things that you have, that go along with that. So there's administrative costs. Administrative costs will eat up your TIF money. Administrative costs, if you have them that, if you go to a vendor and say, I want you to look this over, they're gonna send you a bill. Nobody does something for nothing. You just have to make sure you get the bang for your buck. Yes, sir, you got the mic. Yes, sir.
I have more of a concern than a question. My concern, which should be a lot of people's concern in this room, is that equalized assessed value of the village has gone down considerably, which has resulted in extraordinarily high tax rates for the residents. What is the plan? I mean, this isn't even discussed during the budget hearings. This isn't even discussed at committee meetings. This is something that should be discussed all the time by all the trustees, you know. And I know that we've spoken about this, you know, individually, but what kind of impact is this going to have with the tax levy that the school districts just passed and the tax levy that the village is about to do?
Okay. First of all, let me see a hand of people that own and pay taxes here in the village. Wow. I'm getting ready to tell you something that you're not going to want to hear. I know you brought this up, but I'm just going to tell you in camera, whoever it may be. How many people that own their own homes applied for a tax cut? But not just homestead exemption, I'm talking about here recently in the last year to apply to have their taxes lowered. And how many people got their taxes lowered? Should be more than that, you guys should. Okay. As I stated before, you have maybe, and you don't have to quote me on this, but you have maybe 3,000 homes that are on the tax rolls here in the village that pay taxes back in 2013. The budget that reflected in 2014 reflected on that value or that many taxes. What they do is they look at it and they assess according to what your EAB is and according to how much money they need to come up with to come up with what you need, what you're asking for. If you ask for $5 million, they may cut it by $500,000, but the rest of that's going to be split between all the homes that pay taxes. Depending on where your house is and where you're located, you'll pay more or less than what the average is. Now, that's then. 2014 comes, that 3,000 went to 2,500. But you still, as a village or as a municipality, are still trying to levy for that $5 million. Now, but I got to split that between, instead of 3,000, 2,500, you get that. That means that's when your taxes go up. Now, when your property value goes down again in 2015, because what makes your property value go down are bankruptcies and foreclosures. If you foreclose on a house, and they took a house that was at one time was sold for $150,000, and it gets foreclosed on and sold for $50,000, everybody's average goes down. So now you're going to pay less tax. So what are they going to do? They may change the multiplier. God forbid if that happens. They change the multiplier. You're going to pay more money without even you can't. In other words, you can't get a tax break on that because the multiplier changed. The multiplier has changed. So therefore, you are going to pay for all those homes that used to be there. And like I said, I hate to tell people that because a lot of people say, well, I got to move. It's happening all over. So you're not going to move from one problem to another. They're going to get that X amount of money at that village because what they're going to look at, the powers that be are going to look and see if you warrant $5 million for that tax money. If you warrant that, if you can show that you warrant that last year you got that kind of money and you can show that you need more, then they're going to try to, make sure that you try to get it. You won't get 100% of what you ask for. You're going to get about 85%. But it's going to be paid for by the people that are still here paying taxes. And if you're lucky enough to get a lower rate or lucky enough to get your taxes lower, then somebody's got to pay. Somebody's got to pay that, to pay for that, to pay that price. They got to find a way. And that's why I hate to tell people that, but that's the truth. That's how your taxes, that's how it's levied. We can only levy so much. I think we can only levy 2%, 0.2 or 0.6%. It's the highest we can go. Anything else after that, you got to have a darn good reason. Because they tell you that you did, because what they'll do is start telling you you need to lay off or cut some services or cut this and this.
Is it based on the cost of living index? Whichever's greater.
That too. That too. So how do you get your property value back up? You have to bring in a commodity that people want to move into your village. You have to sell something that says, okay, I want to move into Sauk Village. And you have to create a groundswell where people want to come in and do business in your village and people want to come and live in your village. That's where you could start bringing the property value back up. That's the only way you're going to bring it back up. You have to have a cause where people want to come and live in your village that is cost effective, that is convenient, that they can feel safe. You have to create that type of atmosphere. That's hard. That's very hard, but you have to start somewhere. And that's the only way you're going to get your property value to go back up. It has to be supply and demand. Any other questions? Okay, I know it's after 9, and I think this is a very good town hall. Next month is Christmas month, so we're not going to have a town hall. I want everybody to enjoy their Christmas and come back in January for some new things that are going to happen. We're going to have some announcements and some things that we're going to try to see that we as a village, not just at this town hall, but as a village, to change the perception, because you are 1,000% right. How do I get my property value to go up? How do I make my house worth more money? I go somewhere and try to get a loan on my house or get a second mortgage or get something in my house and they telling me it's worth less than what I paid for. You try to go out there and try to enhance, you try to fix up your house and get a mortgage on it, a second mortgage on it, and you bought your house for $100,000 or $60,000, they said it's worth $15,000, $20,000. But you owe $50,000. It's just like car upside down. You do not want your house. Everyone bought their house because it was an investment. We already know when we buy a car that it's going to be a deficit as soon as you drive it, but not your house. And I commend you guys for coming out and fighting for that right, because you should fight for that right. That's yours. And those that don't own, but they live in the village, should fight for the right of the different services. And don't just let the village be just one of the services. You got schools, you got surrounding areas. Schools get more of your money than the village. The village gets 19% of your tax dollars. 19. Schools get 60%. High school and grammar school. Go figure. All right, thank you very much. Everyone have a very, very safe Thanksgiving, Christmas, and don't forget, Santa Claus will be around on the 5th of December. Enjoy.
Sauk Citizens Public Awareness, we have a meeting the second Saturday every month. And, it's at the community center from 10 to 12. And, I put that on there, so next time I meet here, we said, I'd like to come out, maybe got some ideas of how to do. All we do is just